Sup, Kingstec? Otaku Club President Michael Baker here with Jeremy Mott, the Student Association President, Tyler Dow, and Cole Lalonde. So today we're going to be talking about video games. Seems appropriate as seeing how we got all guys on the panel. So, first question is, how did you get into games? Like, who gave you your first game? Where did you find your first game? That sort of thing. And we're going to start with Jeremy.
Brilliant. My first game was, what was it called? I think it was Marbs or something weird like that. It was back when I was about 6 years old on the pt1 console. So it was basically just a bunch of pixels going up and down, and you shot at pixels at it. Yeah.
Which is so invigorating.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, plus back then you had imagination. You had to fill in all the blanks.
Yeah. This square is deadly to that square over there. You can tell because of the blue thing that comes out of it. Yeah, that was mine.
For me, it was like, oh geez, back in 2000 when I got my first like NES. That was probably the best way to say it. It's just, I was rummaging through a discard bin and I'm like, oh hey, here's an NES. I should totally pick it up. How about you, Tyler?
I'm probably going to have to echo that. First console definitely that I got to just kind of tinker around with was the NES. I remember going over to my grandmother's and like digging through my uncle's closet, and he had an NES, and I was like, what's this? Like no actual comprehension of what a video game was at the time, and then you pop it in Super Mario Brothers, and you're just like, this is awesome.
How about you, Cole?
Exact same thing. I just had an NES around, and I played Super Mario Bros. From the first game.
I think that's pretty well 90% of gamers.
Yeah.
90% of gamers is like, hey, Mario Bros. That was how we got into it.
Well, you have to understand a lot of this panel is generally the same age group, so we all would have probably got into that at the same time.
This is true.
Also, it was my older brothers, which might have been a similar case. Common occurrence. People at around the time owning the game.
Right.
Pretty much everybody.
So everybody knows.
Which actually does nothing, which makes you feel better when you pop it in.
I don't know. I found that it did work if you had like dust on the connectors. Sometimes dust on the connectors.
I think
Now there's dust.
I think it actually does more harm than good because you're actually blowing moisture into the
Who knows?
into the cartridge.
We're not engineers.
Hit it.
We're kids. Who knows that? We're like brain surgeons at that point. It's like, oh, it's not turning on. What do? It's got dust in it. Blow.
Yeah, surgeons.
No, you're doing it wrong. It's from side to side.
Yeah, that's totally the right profession to draw a parallel with. Now, Jeremy, you already talked about what your first game was, but I figured let's go through and like very first video game title that we played. For me, it wasn't actually like Super Mario. It was Pilot Wings, which it was a terrible game. But hey, it was good enough for the little 10-year-old me. So
I would have to say the actual first.
You gotta be kidding me!
Awesome. Well, we just won the fight. We just continue on. I think we just continue on.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
well
might even
placed.
just keep that in there.
It's well placed. I would have to say the actual first console that I actually went to buy would be the first game that I had that I personally owned myself. I mean, like I said, I played Mario Brothers and stuff growing up, but the actual first game that I owned would probably have to be when I went out and just bought I think it was Star Fox. No, it was Donkey Kong 64 was the first game I actually owned. And I remember at the time, me and my brother had it, and we thought it was two-player because we saw Diddy Kong in one screen capture, and then we saw Donkey Kong, and we're like, oh, when we get to a certain point, we save Diddy Kong. Nah, it's single player the whole way through. So we'd have to take turns swapping out 30-minute increments. Like I get to play, you get to play, but we got it done.
That's how Rare rolls.
Yeah, that's how Rare rolls. That and Jet Force Gemini, which is an amazing game.
Yeah, the game's alright.
So, Cole, what was your first title that you owned?
That was Ocarina of Time. And I was about 8 years old, and it was way too scary for me. The zombies in that game scared the hell out of me, and I basically
with
humping
all the
zombies,
lights
aren't
on.
they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
Wait, you
The
mean?
humping zombies?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else. I was thinking of those skeleton motherfuckers that pop out of the ground around Hyrule Field.
Those scared
I don't
me
know, I
too,
played the
but I
game.
got over those a lot more faster. So,
Ah,
Those
I
are the ones, I
think-
think they scream or something.
Yeah, and it
They
freeze
and then they
frame.
jump on you and it's inappropriate.
they're called readings.
so,
They're pedophiles.
now, let's go through favorite consoles of all time, any generation. We're gonna start with Jeremy.
My favorite console now is the Wii U, but a lot of that is because I have a family. I have kids, and it's really easy to play and just sit there and watch Netflix. I think if I have to pick a favorite generationally, I'd have to go with the Super Nintendo, though. There were some really great games that came out on that. Super Metroid, Link to the Past.
Mega Man X.
So, right, yeah. So, bunch of great titles, kind of like golden ages there of video games for a little while. Or the PC.
For me, it would be the N64. I mean, the PlayStation 2 I probably sunk the most hours into of just mindlessly playing video games, but the N64 had the best titles. Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Mario World. Everything, man, like all the really, really great games from my childhood were on the N64. Perfect Dark, 007 GoldenEye, all amazing, amazing games. How about you, Tyler?
I almost want to second that, saying that because I remember so many great memories on the N64, but I think it'd have to be the first time, the very first Xbox, and when I bought that Xbox just to play Halo, and like, it was kind of one of those experiences you were just like, you know, you've been used to sitting there with your 3-prong controller and playing around with your joystick that dies after a month of playing with it, and you have to run backwards all the time because your forward doesn't work, and then you finally have these double joysticks and you're like, what is this? And I don't know, it was just a new experience, and it just kind of stuck with me, and I didn't really go back to Nintendo after that. I never bought a Wii or anything. I just kind of, I don't want to say I'm an Xbox Microsoft fanboy, but I did after that go and buy a 360, and I mean, I'm probably going to get an Xbox One too, so I mean, definitely the largest impact. So yeah, I would have to say it's probably one of my favorites.
How about you, Cole?
I would actually just go with the PC. Mainly, I was introduced to the PC playing Halo, the Combat Evolved.
Yeah, the OG Halo.
Yeah, the
Right.
first one.
No, but I mean like that port was called Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
So I played that probably more than I had ever played any multiplayer game, and I played it long after it was popular on the PC too. So with like a lot of and against
With a lot of
Mexicans. But it was really fun, and I had a lot of fun LAN parties that way. And still play lots of PC games to this day.
So, next we're going to talk about genres. What genres do we play the most? What genres are our favorite? Go, Jeremy.
I'm a big RPG guy, to my detriment usually, because I'm very anal about getting as much as possible from it. So I'm the guy that's playing one of the old Final Fantasies and leveling up to 50 before you even leave the first little island.
Yeah.
Just killing slimes for days. But the old Final Fantasies, the Dragon Warrior Quest games, even Skyrim right now. You know, anything where you're taking on a character, you collect gold and items. I'm liking the RPGs.
I'll shower when Hyrule is saved.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it's mostly the strategies and the more analytical type, strategic type games like naval ops, where you design and command a warship, which I probably end up spending more time designing a warship than I actually do commanding it. Then strategy games like StarCraft, StarCraft 2, Supreme Commander, civilization building games like anything from Civilization, Rise of Nations, those sorts of games, which it can be a lot of fun, and it can be really stimulating for just in terms of using your brain. So, how about you, Tyler?
For the longest time, I'd have to say that I was an FPS player, just first-person shooter, and I think I was pretty die-hard there. And then I kind of just started playing. I don't know. It was kind of like slowly progressing. I started just playing Gears of War all the time, which is third person, and then from there, now I'm just playing fighting games all the time. Street Fighter, just all the way, and it just takes me back when I was younger, just playing in that arcade on like summer vacation, wasting all my quarters just playing Street Fighter, Third Strike, and now I'm at home with the arcade stick playing Super and looking forward to Ultra.
So, did you ever get around to Metal Gear Solid?
I did not, no.
Oh, man. So now, unfortunately, I didn't play any of the earlier MGSs, but MGS4, I mean, ridiculously long cutscenes. There was like 8 hours worth of cutscenes in that damn game, but so much fun. And trying to get through the entire game without killing anybody? Oh my god! Frustration galore. I'm talking controller throwing, blue streak cussing, frustration. How about you, Cole?
I'm just gonna copy Tyler again and say fighting games. My favorite fighting game is Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I used to play it quite a bit. It's kind of good, I guess.
So just fighting games is all you normally play?
No, I play all kinds of games, but I'm just picking that as a favorite. I
Oh,
actually
okay.
right now mostly play Dota clones or RTS action games or MOBAs,
League
whatever you
of
want to call it.
Legends. League of Legends.
Less League of
Yeah, I've
Legends,
never-
more
I've never played that
Dota
one.
2 and Heroes of New Earth, but sometimes League of Legends too. Play all three.
But then again, I tend to be only able to get into RPGs I find when there's guns involved. So stuff like Fallout or Borderlands, that I'm there for. Because I'm like, yes, I totally want to roam around a wasteland and shoot.
And collect bottle caps.
Yes. Bottle caps are currency. I'm going to like stock up for when the nuclear apocalypse
Just a
happens.
big jar apocalypse fund.
And I will be the richest mother lover on the planet.